Hey folks, Country Prepper here. Well, I've been sick for the last couple of weeks, so sorry for the lack of content, and I might sound, I'm still kind of congested, so please try to bear with me. But while I was sitting around feeling miserable, I went back and read some comments on some of my older videos, and I kind of get this reoccurring type of comment, something along the lines of how much survival gear does a prepper really need. So I thought it'd be a good topic to discuss. Now, of course, it's usually when I'm doing a video showing the wall full of knives and axes and all that stuff behind me. And so, you know, obviously they're not subscribers of mine, so they don't realize that most of those knives, like all the Moras, are just for making Kydex sheaths. I have my own personal Moras that aren't hung up there. They're in kits in the house and, you know, all over the place. So I actually have more knives than what you see. But, you know, nobody would bat an eye about how many shovels I own. So I just kind of don't understand the comment, because I see these things as tools, not just survival gear or bushcraft gear or whatever the case. And that's a good example. Shovels. You don't just use one shovel. I have a round shovel, a flat shovel, a scoop shovel, a snow shovel, a spade, a shingling shovel for tearing off roofs. You know, I have a bunch of different kinds of shovels. I think people still have this one tool option mindset, and it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like that machete type of thing right there. It's actually just a big knife, but I use that in the garden all the time to hack off big weeds. Or I might use that machete for clearing a trail or something like that. You know, different knives have different purposes. Some survival knives, some are knives that I actually use in the kitchen. Some of my Mora knives we used just a couple weeks ago to cut the corn off the cob so we could can it. Another example of something that a prepper might have several of is flashlights. I have 3 flashlights and a headlamp just in my pickup. I have a flashlight that'll work on the bill of a cap in my trauma kit. I also have one in my fire kit. I have a flashlight in my console and a headlamp in my console. So 3 flashlights and a headlamp just in my pickup. I have a flashlight and a headlamp in my wife's vehicle. I have several flashlights around the house in my power outage kit. One on my desk, one on my nightstand, one mounted onto a gun. You know, I just, you know, tons of flashlights. So take axes for another example. A hatchet won't do the work of a, you know, like my camp axe. My camp axe doesn't chop as well as my boy's axe, and my boy's axe doesn't chop as well as my felling axe. And I have a splitting maul. You know, they all have different purposes. They all excel at different things. Nobody would say anything about how many Mylar blankets I own. I have tons of them. I bet I got a couple dozen of them. I buy them 10 at a time. Just because I put them in so many different kits. And another one, water filters. I have 2 in my bug out bag. I have my main one and I have a backup. There's one in my wife's bug out bag. Both of the backpacks that my kids carry. I have one in the truck, one in the car. You never know. I have all kinds of different kits, and you wouldn't take one from one kit and put in the kit that you're going to carry that day. You just, you know, you build your kits and you leave them as they are, so that if you need to grab it and go, then it's just ready. So I bet I have 10, maybe a dozen water filters. So yeah, I probably have more knives and axes than the average person, but most of those knives are for making Kydex sheaths. The rest of them, yeah, I use them. I use them for different things, whatever the case may be at the time. So anyway, just a rant and a ramble. I guess I wanted to see what you guys thought. Is this really a big concern in this community about who owns what, or how much of something somebody owns? Or I think it's just people coming in off of Google or off of a YouTube search engine and just wanting to, I don't know, stir the pot, I guess. So anyway, that's my thoughts on it. What do you guys think? Leave me a comment below. Thank you guys very much for watching, and see you next time.